Beast addresses the Kris Tyson scandal, saying, I'm disgusted, and saying that he has removed Tyson from the company. My friends, this appears to be confirmation from Mr. Beast that he has witnessed this behavior that Kris Tyson was accused of, to the point where he says he's disgusted and has fired the individual. I don't know what else you say then. Mr. Beast has confirmed that a member of his staff, a co-star, the transgender Kris Tyson, was grooming children. This is shocking stuff. One of the biggest YouTube channels, the biggest YouTuber, hundreds of millions of views per video. I don't know. I want to be careful for legal reasons, and I want to make sure we're being careful because I want to know it's true. But Mr. Beast coming out after these allegations saying what I have seen is disgusting and I've removed this person. Mr. Beast says they've seen enough. I think Mr. Beast has confirmed that Kris Tyson was grooming children. There's another video too. Let me pull this up. Another victim came out. I'm going to pull this up from, let me see if I can find Drama Alert here. Drama Alert, of course, has been covering this story, and obviously due to personal involvement of Keemstar. But there is a video of another person coming out saying that they're a victim of Tyson. Here we go. I got it right here. And we'll play this in a second. But first, I'll read a little bit of the news before I play this man talking about how he was victimized as a child. Hollywood Reporter says YouTube star Mr. Beast has addressed the grooming allegations made against his longtime collaborator, Ava Kris Tyson, saying that he was disgusted by the claims and has taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any association with Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, was responding. Do we have the link? We'll just pull up his tweet right here. He says, over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any association with Mr. Beast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further action based on their findings. Man, excuse me. I don't think Mr. Beast wrote this. I think his PR firm wrote it. And that's it. I think his PR firm wrote it, but there is some interesting legal issues here. He says, I am disgusted. Really? I have become aware of the serious allegations and I am disgusted. I've seen enough online. That's confirmation. Let me explain. If someone comes, like we've dealt with this here at Timcast, someone will say something like, hey, this person did bad thing. And I'll be like, dude, you saying person did bad thing isn't enough for us to legally be able to do anything. There have been people who have been like, person did bad thing outside of work. I'm like, nothing to do with us. We can't do anything about it. Employees have protections. You can't just claim a person did a thing to get them fired. Now, a bunch of companies were doing this. And in fact, this is interesting. We're going to talk about this in the next segment with Gina Carano. Disney fired her over a social media post. And she's suing and is actually advancing in her suit. This is huge news. For Mr. Beast to terminate this individual means he believes one of two things. That the financial damage that he would incur should he be wrong is less than the financial damage he would incur when people stop watching his videos or he loses all of his sponsors. Possibility. He's got a lot of money to lose, and Tyson could only sue for so much. Or he has seen enough that he feels has given him the legal defensibility to terminate Tyson without being at risk for any major lawsuits. I think the latter is true. I think Mr. Beast saw what everyone else saw, knows it's true, and so said, I have no problem firing this person. One of the allegations is that this Kris Tyson was a fan of someone called Shadman, who produces adult images of children, even of Keemstar's daughter. Disgusting. One of these drawings was on a wall in a Mr. Beast video. I don't watch Mr. Beast, so I don't know that's actually the case, but that's one of the allegations. Mr. Beast, I'd imagine if that's true, he sees that and he goes, holy crap, that drawing. Oh man, because the drawing wasn't like adult activities going on. It's apparently a drawing. It's a cartoon character, but of a minor child with no pants on. And Mr. Beast may have been like, what is that? I think it's creepy either way. And I don't think it's an excuse. I think Mr. Beast knew exactly what was going on. So I have to wonder if what really happened was Mr. Beast was like, oh crap, people are bringing up the fact that we're sitting in a room and there's that drawing on the wall. We now have this video. Another man claiming to be a victim of Mr. Beast's co-host, collaborator, associate, Kris Tyson. And this is huge. Is YouTube going to tolerate this? Many creators, many channels have been demonetized and banned when things like this emerge. Now, many people have come on and say it's not Mr. Beast's fault. But what happens when, I mean, you already have one employee, Jake the Viking, saying Jimmy knew. Mr. Beast knew this was going on. Well, of course, Mr. Beast is so powerful, they're probably not going to do anything about it. But watch this video.
Kris Tyson from Mr. Beast used me, manipulated me, and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old. I was actually friends with Lava GS at the time, who is the main victim of Kris that everyone has been talking about these last few days, who claims he isn't a victim, but we all know he is, and we all know he probably got paid off. Not only that, but he's also under an NDA from when he worked for Mr. Beast Gaming for 2 years, and he tried to get me to join Mr. Beast Gaming himself, Lava. He's the one who actually sent me the contract and tried to get me to sign the NDA, at which point I ended our friendship because I knew they were just trying to silence me. Me and him were both initially involved in running Kris's Discord server, helping him set up his Twitch streams and moderating them.
Nate's calling me. Hey, what's up? You're on stream.
You just leaked your address. Please end your stream.
As well as other technical back-end things that he needed help with. This Discord server that we were a part of had about 10 people in it, most of whom were minors. I'm not sure how they got it.
This is important right here. 10 people. The argument from Lava GS, one of the victims saying, I'm not a victim, it was just a public Discord with edgy jokes. 10 people, that's like a private small room. That's not like an open chat room to the public.
In there, other than me and Lava, he won a giveaway and Kris invited him after that. And Kris invited me after I saw one of his tweets asking for help setting up a Gearsmod server for the 10 million subscriber Mr. Beast video.
Let's pause right there as well. Kris Tyson, who is accused of being a groomer, who I believe now Mr. Beast firing. Look, I want to be careful for legal reasons, but it sounds like Mr. Beast is confirming that he saw this stuff and he knows it's true. Meets a 13-year-old at some kind of giveaway. A 15-year-old tweets at him, I need help, and so he's like, okay, yeah, let's be friends. Come join my Discord, and start sending him sexual jokes. Dude, that's wild.
This turned into us having lots of private conversations with Kris and playing video games with him for hours on end. Not only did we do a lot of unpaid work for him that he promised he would pay us for, he would also frequently bring up sexual topics that was definitely not appropriate to bring up around 15, 16-year-olds, especially with him being like, I don't know, 20, 21 years old. He would even go as far as linking me several different porn and hentai videos throughout the time of me talking with him.
Okay, for those who don't know, corn means porn, and hentai means drawings of porn, like cartoon porn.
Not only that, but he had an NSFW bot in his Discord server before he made it public. So when it was just a private server, his little circle of minors. And he would use this NSFW bot to spam different corn images, alongside all these 15-year-olds. He would also frequently call me dad and daddy as well as the others, which I guess we all kind of just took as a joke at the time.
No, let's pause right there. So here's a guy saying he's 15. He reaches out saying he wants to do some kind of mod server. I don't know what that means. And is it Minecraft or something? I have no idea. And I'm too old. But then this man contacts this minor child, calling him daddy and sending him pornography. Yo, that's illegal. We had AG Andrew Bailey of Missouri on the show, and when we were talking about the scandal, he was like, that's enticement of a minor. That's a felony. That's 5 years in prison.
You have to think this is someone who we looked up to at the time, we idolized, we thought was the coolest person in the world, so they couldn't really do any wrong in our eyes. But looking back, I was definitely uncomfortable at being called daddy by a 20-year-old. Even just thinking about it now, it's just uncomfortable. This server later went public and became his official Discord server, but before it did, he had me and Lava spend multiple days scrubbing this Discord server clean of all of the N-words he had sent in it, as well as his friends, as well as deleting the NSFW channels and making sure no one could see that he was spamming corn to minors. This story is so much bigger and runs so much deeper than any of you really realize, so if you want to hear more and you want a part 2, let me know.
Yo, this is crazy. So I don't know if we have this from Drama Alert, just basically saying Mr. Beast has broken his silence, responding to the allegations. Yo, I gotta say this. I tweeted at Mr. Beast. I quote tweeted him. Not like mad. I mean, he's got 30 million followers. I got 2. Kris Tyson was clearly going through some kind of mental issue. He's online. He's getting entrenched and addicted to this weird pornography stuff. He's sending it to kids. At first, my thought was, when he was suffering from these issues related to gender dysphoria, Mr. Beast defended everything about it and said, I'm sick of the transphobia, leave my friend alone. This dude, at this point, Kris Tyson, should have been arrested. If what this kid is saying, this guy is saying is true when he was 15, that Tyson was calling him daddy and sending him pornography. I'll try to keep this one family friendly, but I'll give you my assessment. And before I do, I'll say, Mr. Beast should not have defended this person, knew what was going on, or has been accused of knowing what's going on, took no action. One alleged former employee, claimed that it was because Kris Tyson had dirt on Mr. Beast, and so Mr. Beast could not do anything about it. Perhaps. Here's what I think. Why is this adult man calling these young boys daddy? Why is this guy, Kris Tyson, supporting and engaging with a dude who makes drawings of little girls in adult compromising situations? I believe that Kris Tyson has an extremist paraphilia where he is aroused at the thought of himself being a little girl. So if you look at everything we've seen so far, you have a guy who says he's trans and he wants to be a woman. And there's a difference between the fetishists with the paraphilia and then the gender dysphoric, right? So there are many people that I've had on Timcast IRL who are not doing any of this stuff. They talk about gender dysphoria. That is a body dysmorphic disorder where you feel no different than anorexia. You look in the mirror and something's wrong. Kris Tyson, I believe, is in another camp. I do believe there's another form, which is the Dylan Mulvaney form, which is the just getting plastic surgery to fit in and get popular, which is totally different. That's a different kind of personality issue. Kris Tyson is interacting with a guy who makes lewd drawings of children. Kris Tyson himself wants to be a woman and takes hormones. Kris Tyson also calls teenage boys daddy, as if these younger boys are in a domineering position above him. I think this guy has a fetish about wanting to be a little girl. I could be totally wrong. I don't know. All I know is you look at how everything's lining up, and with him sending pornography and calling little boys daddy and looking at or supporting this guy who makes this adult content of children, this dude clearly has some like overt fetish thing going on. And the crazy thing is, it's been years. People knew this was happening, and we're only just finding out now. Why was this guy being protected? And to that point, why is Mr. Beast still saying Ava? It's absolutely nuts. In fact, let me pull up the Drama Alert thing. Drama Alert as let me see if I can find this. He says Kai Cenat is getting backlash for misgendering Kris Tyson. Kai Cenat speaks on Kris Tyson sending inappropriate text to a minor. He's weird, bro. It's effed up. It's weird. How do you know the age of someone knowing you're a grown-ass man and still move forward? I don't understand it. And someone said the misgendering on purpose is so gross. She's a pedo. Attack that she's a pedo, not her identity, please. No, I think it's fair to say These are, for one, they're all allegations. First I'll say this guy posting this video, maybe it's not true, I guess, right? He's saying that these things happened and will need some proof in a court of law. But my issue, however, is that Mr. B said he's seen enough and has fired the person. I don't know how else you confirm things. If Mr. B is like, it happened, he's fired. How could you say, I don't know? Okay, fine. We'll wait for a court of law, I guess. Well, I guess. But my issue is this. We've had friends of the show. They come on the show. We have friends of mine. They're trans. I will say she, her. Absolutely. I'm not like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's attitude is, in public, he said this of Blair White, I think. In public, if someone asked me, I'd say she, because if I said he, it'd be too confusing. I can't explain all this. But in writing, I'll say he. And I'm like, I half agree with Ben Shapiro. Half. Where need be, I will mention a person is male or female. If I'm trying to be polite and just for ease of conversation, I do agree with Ben Shapiro in that regard. She, her. I will not do that for Kris Tyson, whose name is Kris, C-H-R-I-S, who clearly does not fit the mold of someone who is a nice person who is suffering from gender dysphoric disorder and is, I don't know, you're trying to be nice to, I guess. I try to be polite when I can, but I'm not a big fan of the pronoun stuff. Mr. B still using this person's name, this fake name, Ava, I think is shocking. At this point, with enough information coming out, for Mr. Beast to say, I have seen enough online, meaning outside of the investigation, it's enough to terminate an individual. Like that opens you up to legal liability. He's saying outright he's got enough evidence that this is true that he could not be sued or face damage. That's what he's saying. To still then be like, it's Ava. No, it's a predator named Kris. Stop defending these people. Yo, this is absolutely wild. But I got to tell you, my friends, it's not surprising that YouTube at the highest levels has this stuff. Hollywood does. Why not YouTube? You got to wonder about who's in control and what they really want. It's fascinating because for a while, you have this like QAnon adjacent stuff. I don't want to say QAnon because it's not just Q. There's a lot of people who are saying that there's satanic pedophiles running the world. And the media is like, oh, you're all nuts. You're all nuts. And then the Epstein thing turned out to be true. Yeah, and we never got any answers. Now, running the world may be a bold statement, but certainly in positions of power. And so in various parts of the world, there is leadership that we know this with Epstein. You then look at YouTube and you see what's going on with Kris Tyson, and everyone just kind of goes, yeah, we know. Mr. Beast probably knew. And they're only taking action now that people are starting to come out and make these allegations. People are starting to come out and post these things. Keemstar outright said he spoke with Tyson about sexually explicit drawings of his daughter, who was 8 years old. And Tyson did not apologize for supporting Shadman, this guy who produces this stuff. I don't know how this stuff's legal. I don't know. But it's disgusting. And it was part of the Mr. Beast sphere for a very, very long time. And when people got angry about affirming Kris Tyson, Mr. Beast defended all of it. Man, it is a wild, wild time these days. It's wow. It's just crazy that we're dealing with this stuff. We were talking about this the other night. There's a bunch of stories of trans people who are not gender dysphoric, they're fetishists, and they explain this. And I'm not trying to disparage people with gender dysphoria. I'm saying there are people who are outright saying they watch BDSM, and Rachel told me this, Rachel Wilson, sissy hypnosis, where they watch videos that use binaural beats to hypnotize them into telling them to be women. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Man. Dude, I've been on the internet my whole life, and it's just fascinating that there are things even I don't know. I guess I'm not on 4chan enough, and all I do is read the news and Twitter. Oh, wow. That's crazy. I guess we'll see if this dude gets arrested. It sounds like sending porn to a 15-year-old, this guy, sounds like he might be going to prison. I don't know how it took this long. To be fair, though, there's a lot of people in Hollywood who have done worse things and they've gotten away with it for a long time. I'm going to wrap this segment up here. Read super chats. For those that are watching still live, we'll get your super chats in. And for everybody else, stick around. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. And then we're going to have the Timcast IRL tonight, and we will see you all then.